Wish Josh all the best.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you all for being here. Very grateful for the very kind words and all the support. Mayor, thanks for us having in your town.
My pleasure.
It's great to be here. Norm, who owns this joint, couldn't be here today, I know, but I want to thank him and Tenafly Honda for hosting us today. Very grateful, and for playing such an important role in the community all these years. It actually dates back to 1932. Norm's grandfather, if I have it right, opened up originally down the street from here. So this is business that's been here many, many years. But I want to thank the councilman. I want to thank Warren and for his great service to our country. Manuel, thank you so much for standing with us as well. And Mayor, thank you so much. We're here today, if you've noticed, a theme, right? In our fight against President Trump and his administration and their extremist cost-raising policies that are over and over again an attack on our Jersey values, on the values that we believe in, that we hold dear, and that make our great state such a great place to raise a family, to have a small business, to retire. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. But we're here today to talk about what, or rather who, has been at the top of everyone's mind these past few months, whether you like it or not, and the impact it's having on Jersey, and what we're going to do to fight back, and what I'm going to do as governor to fight back against Trump, his cost-raising policies, and what he's doing to attack our values in Jersey. We're here today to talk about what we're going to do to protect our families, our seniors, our state, and our country from Trump's chaos that's literally wreaking havoc on our communities, our economy, our seniors, and our values. And I'm announcing today my plan to stop Trump and protect our Jersey values. We're releasing that report now. You'll see the plan, and you'll see a blueprint for what we're going to do to fight back against Trump and protect our Jersey values. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the economic chaos Trump has unleashed in our state and our country, especially against our families, children, seniors, and small businesses just like this one. Just 2 weeks ago, President Trump imposed insane levels of tariffs on 86 countries, many of whom are allies and friends and key trading partners. Then last Wednesday, he issued a 90-day pause for the most extreme tariffs in the typical Trump flip-flop, while still issuing a blanket 10% tariff on most countries, an additional 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, and 145% tariff on China. That means prices of nearly everything from clothing to cheese to electronics to construction materials will go up big time, including, of course, a massive hit on cars, like the ones behind me, right here at this dealership in Tenafly, New Jersey. We're talking about $2,000 to $3,000 additional taxes being imposed from these tariffs on all the cars, or nearly all of them, behind me. Not only is Trump not a king, he's not even a good businessman. This is the guy who supposedly ran on lowering costs and taxes for hardworking middle-class families. But look around. As I said, based on Trump's tariffs and his other policies, especially on seniors too, you're talking about extra $3,800 a year for the average household, approximately. I mean, given the day, it's hard to always keep up with the impact of the tariffs. His mismanagement of the U.S. economy to date and his imposition of higher taxes and higher costs on every American family must be stopped. And when I'm governor, they will be. Families are struggling with higher costs on everything from property taxes to food to utility bills to childcare. The last thing we need is for new tariff tax that are already sending prices higher. The last thing we need is an attack on our America's veterans that's already sending them to deal with problems they've never had to deal with before on health care and managing programs that they've earned protecting our country. These tariffs, though, are killing us, creating mass chaos and uncertainty. It's bad enough that the Trump administration and extremists in Congress have declared war on our veterans. Now they've declared war on our seniors, going after Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. But Trump's tariffs have sent Americans' retirement savings also into a free fall, putting even more pressure on our seniors. And he's not done, threatening new tariffs over the weekend on lumber, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals, like you heard from Manuel. Life is already unaffordable, especially here in Jersey, which is why I'm running as a lower taxes, lower cost governor, to get costs down, to get taxes down. But this guy's turning around and making costs go up. The President of the United States, who ran on lowering costs, has actually been making costs go up and making people pay even more. It's BS. It's the only way to talk about it. Now, as governor, I will fight Trump's attempts to drive both taxes and costs through the roof. I've already released 2 detailed expert-backed plans to do just that. My tax cut plan and my lower cost plan. And I'm fighting like hell in Congress to stop these tariffs from continuing. Now, there's a lot of people in this race who say they're going to fight Trump. But I'm the one who's already been doing that with actual legislation in Congress to stop him, who's not afraid to fight, Jersey style, with anyone who messes with our state. Just ask John O'Lieber, not but nearby here, at the MTA, who's been fighting the fight to stop the congestion tax. Who's been fighting to bring salt back, restore salt to lower our taxes across our state for hardworking middle-class families. As governor, I'll work with our international trading partners and call for New Jersey-made products to be excluded from any retaliatory measures. I'm going to make sure Jersey families know exactly why their bills are going up at the restaurants, at the stores, or at an auto dealership. We're going to ask them to put a Trump tariff cost indicator on their statements and receipts. What's so great about Jersey is that we stand up for ourselves. We protect our values. And let's be honest, those values are under assault right now on every front, and not just costs and taxes. They're coming from everything from reproductive freedom to gun safety, from how we treat our seniors and veterans, to how we protect the environment and treat one another. Going after these are not just Jersey values that they're going after. We're not just going to take it. As governor, I'm going to fight them when they mess with our families. Trust me, I'm a Jersey guy through and through, 5th generation, born and raised here. I love Jersey. We got so much going for us, but we have to fight to protect what we believe in. That's what my family taught me when they were from Linden and Newark and West Orange and all over the state, as my mom went to Asbury Park High School. One thing we all share in common, no matter where we're from, is we share these Jersey values. We believe in looking out for one another. And I believe if we fight back hard, we can protect our values that have made our state so great. So today, as I mentioned, I'm announcing my Stand Up to Trump, Protect Our Jersey Values plan. All the things I'll do as governor, protect and promote the values that make our state so great. It's a blueprint for how, as governor, I'll stand up to Trump to protect our economy, our freedoms, our families, our seniors, our veterans, and of course, our great democracy. First, our state was on the front lines of the Revolutionary War, as you know. We fought for freedom, and there's no way in hell we're going to let Trump take our freedoms away. I'll fight to protect reproductive freedom. We'll codify the right to an abortion in our state's constitution. So no matter what happens at the federal level or at the state level in the future, families will always have the ability to choose what's best for them. I'll also improve access to preconception care and defend a couple's right to IVF care, which has come under attack by the extreme right. And I'll make sure we have enough domestic violence shelters in our state, which we know we have a shortage of right now. And New Jersey will continue to protect LGBTQ plus Americans with resource centers, housing programs, and crisis services. Second, we're going to use every tool at our disposal to fight any attempts to interfere in how Jersey governs Jersey. We shouldn't mess with that. The mayors will tell you we shouldn't mess with that. My administration will sue to block unconstitutional laws, executive orders, and rulings that threaten our families. As governor, I'll double our investment in our fight fund to take on the Trump administration in court. And I'll work closely with the legislature to codify and enact Supreme Court precedents that protect our environment and families and make sure we protect in the New Jersey Constitution, our statutes, what the court has already said is protected. In Jersey, we get each other's backs. That's why, as governor, one of my top priorities will be to protect our families. This administration has put Jersey families at risk over and over. From their attacks on reproductive freedom to Elon Musk and Doge slashing the Department of Education, school meals for our children, veteran services, Social Security, and more. Here's what I'll do to deal with that. I'm going to fight back against the Trump administration's war on seniors. I'll do everything in my power to protect Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. In Congress, I've been leading the charge to prevent cuts to these 3 critical programs, including Doge's plan to eliminate Social Security field offices across our country, including in New Jersey. I'll direct my Attorney General to sue to stop any cuts to benefits to seniors, and I'll work tirelessly to make sure everyone eligible for Medicaid is promptly enrolled. Fourth, I'll fight anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, anti-Asian, anti-Irish, anti-Catholic, and anti-gay hate, and any form of hate, because New Jersey is a no-hate state. Over the last months, Elon Musk and his cronies not only have made anti-Semitic comments and gestures, but they've gutted programs that provide critical security to synagogues and religious schools, to churches and mosques in our communities. As governor, not only will I aggressively enforce our hate crime laws on the books, but I'll institute a new and expanded nonprofit security grant program to protect our religious institutions, schools, and help ensure religious freedom. Fifth, the way Washington is moving, we will need to take on even more responsibility to protect our K-12 schools. With Trump's dismantling or planned dismantling of the Department of Education, states will be left. It's fine. With Trump's dismantling, there's a 7-Eleven right there, and they just dropped off some vodka water, it looks like. With Trump's dismantling, it's a little early for that. With Trump's dismantling of the Department of Education, states will be left to fill the void, including upholding civil rights protections and practices, a key role of the Federal Department of Education, and will keep right-wing extremists from banning books or censoring textbooks. And we won't do business with booksellers who allow book banning in other states. And like I've said before, we'll make sure that school breakfast and school lunch is truly universal for every kid, so that kids don't go hungry while trying to learn, as this administration has tried to do already by gutting the school breakfast and school lunch program. Sixth, I'll reduce gun violence and make our communities even safer. During Trump's first term, guns became the #1 cause of death for children in the United States, fueled by his relaxation of common sense gun safety laws. Based on Project 2025, the administration seems perfectly happy with this horrifying statistic. I don't want parents in New Jersey to be part of the 77% who worry there'll be a mass shooting at their children's school. I'm proud to have helped Trump negotiate and pass the first common sense bipartisan gun safety bill in the last 30 years in Congress, the first one. We fought for getting that bill done by working across the aisle for common sense gun safety laws. We got to do the same thing to build on that in New Jersey even more. And New Jersey's been a great leader. But we can raise the gun ownership age, eliminate ghost guns from our streets, ban ownership of assault weapons, and require the use of technology to make guns safer and more secure. We got to protect our kids, and it's why I'm proud to have the support of Moms Demand Action Gun Sense candidate distinction in this race. Finally, and I say this with Warren here, but I'll say it every day, and he knows it. We got to protect our veterans. We got to look out for them. We need to live up to our values as a country. That means you take care of those who protect us. I'll cut red tape and boost support to protect programs that connect veterans with housing so that we don't have any homeless veterans. But beyond that, to make sure that veterans, whether you're talking about the support they get on their property taxes or how they deal with medical care, that they're not wanting, they're not having to fight for the things that they've earned and the benefits, frankly, that we owe them for protecting our great flag and our freedoms. I'm also going to fight Trump whenever he comes to round up innocent immigrants in mass raids. Targeting innocent families in churches and schools and restaurants is unacceptable. Folks can count on Governor Gottheimer to get their backs. You know, as part of this, I just want to say our great state believes in democracy and the rule of law. We know that elections matter and that everyone in our state who's eligible to vote should be able to vote. As governor, I'll protect our democracy from election deniers and unconstitutional attacks. I'll push for reforms to make it easier for Jersey families to vote. And I'll implement same-day voter registration for our citizens. When I'm governor, people who are eligible to vote can show up on election day with the information and the documentation they need to register and cast their ballot in a matter of minutes. I'll expand in-person early voting and introduce universal mail-in voting, like several other states have done. And I'll pilot a mobile voting program, like West Virginia has done, for deployed and overseas military members and their families to participate in the election too. We are lucky to have great resources in our state. Our beaches, our lakes, our forests, Springsteen. As governor, I'll protect our environment from those in Washington who want to upend decades of smart, common sense policies with extremist policies. Those who try to mess with our planet, mess with our beaches, our lakes, who try to undermine science, who don't understand the value of actually protecting our streets from flooding, our beaches and our coastlines from flooding. To make sure we go after forever chemicals in our drinking water so our water is clean for our kids and our families and our school drinking water, as I've been fighting for years, to make sure that's clean. The dollars I've clawed back from Washington to Jersey for clean drinking water, to get lead out of the drinking water, forever chemicals out of the drinking water. The bipartisan infrastructure bill, which I helped negotiate and pass, the dollars we're getting back, not just to fix our roads and bridges and New Jersey Transit and the Gateway Train Tunnel, but to make sure our drinking water is clean and to protect our shores and make sure we invest in climate resiliency. You know, in Jersey, these things are all part of Jersey values. They're all about making sure we stand up to those who mess with our families. Donald Trump is messing with our families. He's messing with our economy. He's messing with people's savings. He's messing with our seniors. He's messing with our veterans, literally attacking our families and raising prices on them. His tariff tax is crushing people and crushing their retirement savings. You know, in Jersey, we look out for one another. He's not looking out for us. He's not looking out for our families, for our communities. And we got to fight back Jersey style, and I'm going to do it. When I'm governor, if he messes with us, we're going to mess with him. That's the bottom line. No one messes with our families. You know, we look out for each other. The firefighter, the single mom who can't afford childcare, the firefighter or the veteran who's struggling to get health care, the family who's struggling to put food on their table, the new couple who can't afford to buy their first home. That's why I've been fighting so hard to cut taxes, lower property taxes, make sure seniors have taxes go down, their taxes go down, rents go down, and give support renters. We can do these things. It's not impossible. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's totally possible in the greatest country in the world to do these things. But not if our seniors are under assault, not if our families are under assault. We got to help small business owners here who create jobs and our vehicles. We got to take care of them. And in Jersey, when we look out for each other, we live up to our values, our best days will always be ahead of us. And I know as governor, that's what's going to happen in this great state and our great country. Thanks so much and God bless. Thanks. Thanks, man. Thanks.